are a country that emphasizes democratic freedoms.
Yes.
And we're a country that even has a formalized system of asylum, right? Like other countries, if you look at a country like Sweden, Sweden just says no. Like, we don't care what political hardship you have, you're not coming here. But then they raise their hand as being like a neutral country, right? So we are one of the few countries in the world that say, hey, we will hear out your case. And oh, by the way, we'll pay for it. So you come to us, try to cross our border. And if we don't let you in, if we have to adjudicate your case, we'll still put you in a halfway house. We'll still hold you on the border. We'll still put our resources into enabling you to cross. What that creates, Vince, is an opportunity for well-funded and poorly funded transnational and foreign threats to send operatives in our direction. And here's why. If they are well-funded and well-trained, they can actually create a multi-year process to penetrate our border. For example, they can send an operative to a US school under a visa that allows them to study in that school, to then get a degree from that school, which then allows them to apply for jobs in the United States with their US degree and get yet a different type of visa that allows them to stay in the United States long term and even work a path to residency or citizenship. And that's one of the biggest risks that we have in the intelligence world is well-trained Russian, Chinese, and other foreign actors who get a chance to come into our school system and abuse the freedoms of our school system so that they can build lives as what are known as illegals, right? Essentially, they are here under false pretenses, but they've abused a system that rewards foreign skill sets, right? Meaning just foreign academic skill set to come in. So well-funded organizations can operate through that path. But even your poor funded organizations, think about your fractionalized Islamic extremists. They can literally just try to cross a border from the north through Canada or the south through Mexico. And they can send people who are even just moderately radicalized. Because here's the truth of it. Radicals are often not as ideological as we think they are, right? Terrorists aren't gung-ho for dying for Allah. That's not where they start. Where they start is just, should I be an extremist, violent offender? Or is it just an opportunity for me to get paid so that I can eat, so that I can find something better, right? It's very pragmatic. We think that extremists are like radicalized beyond saving. In reality, many of them are just distraught and stressed and poor. And extremism is the best way to get a paycheck because they can't get anything else. So when ISIS or when Al-Qaeda sends 50 people to cross the southern border, 10 of them get across and 8 of them end up on the other side wondering, oh, like, should I stay an extremist or should I just go get a job at McDonald's? So there's actually an element baked in to our border policy where we expect extremists will cross the border. And we expect that a certain percentage of them will simply discover the truth of the American dream, and they will abandon their extremist ways.
Yeah.
It is insane to think of it, but there are actual actuarial calculations that allow for a certain level of illegal activity inside the United States because we know they will be de-radicalized or they will choose the American lifestyle over their original extremist goals.
Oh, that's crazy. I just think about I joined the military because I needed money for my daughter. And then I fell in love because I found a new place for me that I can, I was like, oh, I actually blend in. I fit and I'm actually pretty good. It's a similar kind of response. Someone comes to America and be like, hey, that sounded good at the time. It was just a means to get me here. Now that I'm here, let me just start a family and live the American dream.
Exactly. But it works in both ways, Vince. It works in both ways. Yeah. Because here's the thing that nobody wants to admit. Sometimes you're perfectly rational asylum refugee speak, like those folks will come from poor, dysfunctional, broken countries. And they will come here with every intent to become a bona fide American citizen, right? But then when they get here, they get chewed up by our own system because we don't take very good care of our refugees. We don't take very good care of our asylum seekers. We don't set them up for success. And then after they're already here, isolated from their families, isolated from their culture, isolated from their religion, and abandoned, they can still radicalize.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most dangerous elements to, again, our border security challenges, is that when we let someone in, sometimes we cut them off from their own culture and resource network, and then they radicalize from within. And that's how ISIS targets us from within the United States.
So fresh on me. Freedom.